How's it going, peeps? Welcome back to Viva la Coin. I am Joe. I will be your host for today's episode as we dive into, oh my God, it's not the bear market. So what did I buy during the dip today? Um, as you've seen, Bitcoin is going through a wonderful bounce back from 52K of a low around last night up to around just slightly above 57K today. And you may ask yourself, well, Joe, all the technical analysis people and financial advisors were saying that it was going to be the bear market. I have said time and time again that technical analysis, although it has its place, is very dangerous when the charts are being painted, when they are being manipulated by large players and banks and institutions that are showing up to the party late and trying to play catch up. They want you to drop your coins so they can buy cheaper, which absolutely makes sense because at the end of the day, we don't need weak hands in this market if we are going to continue to go up. So if you sold at 47K and dumped everything in its absolute lowest and you're sitting there looking in the mirror saying, oh my God, what just happened? This is where you need to learn from this and take a little bit of time to educate yourself about why cryptocurrency reacts the way that it does, why this is so important to understand moving forward, whether it is through the high times or the low times. And once you have that understanding, you will have a little more conviction in your heart and soul so that when we have those dips, even if we are down, you'll be able to reconcile with yourself a bit. Hey, it's okay. I'm down a little bit, but we're going to go back up. At least that's my view anyway. So just a little starting point to make there because I saw a lot of angry people on crypto Twitter. Aside from that, what I'm going to break down today is during this dip, what did I buy? So at the start of it, we were in the middle of shitcoin mania. Doge was pumping. You had AskCoin and Hungry Bear and Martian DAO and shit on my face coin that was just popping off on the Binance Smart Chain. Is every normal person that wasn't in crypto rushed in to try and pump these shit coins. Now, if you made profit in that, awesome job. I played around in it a little bit and made a little bit, but nothing too serious. For me, I'm looking at projects I believe in that were low at the time that I thought would recover quickly, and that's what I bought. So we're going to discuss some of those today. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. I'm happy to answer anything, and obviously I like contrarian opinions as well. If I picked a coin that you think is dog shit and you're like, I can't believe you bought that, let me know. I would love to have a discussion. So looking at the cryptocurrency market at the moment, Bitcoin is sitting right around 56.6. The real story of the day is Ethereum, sitting at $2,761. If you've been following my channel, you know that I do not have a super large Ethereum position right now. I do have a little bit, but my intention is to buy my Ethereum back prior to EIP 1559. But all my other coins are pumping far faster than Ethereum, so it just makes sense for me to put it in low and mid cap altcoins, get a higher return, and then just buy more Ethereum as we go. Not recommended if you're unsure of what you're doing or if you don't know where you're going to put your money. It's just the way that I'm doing it, but I'm thrilled that Ethereum's doing well. I am not someone that sits here and hates any specific crypto, maybe aside from EOS. And I think that the better Ethereum does, that trickles into other large cap altcoins, ones that I do own very large positions in, like Cardano, like Polkadot, like VeChain, and we're just going to continue pumping that market. But I already had my positions there. So what did I look at when I was going back in to buy? So when I jumped into my purchasing, I first went back to Cosmos. Now Cosmos is one of my bigger positions and I'm continuing to accumulate. And since they are still pretty low on the BTC pair and they haven't had their parabolic run up yet or pulled, even like Solana just ran from like $20 up to $50, Cosmos in my opinion is still undervalued. And I mean that in the most severe way possible. This cryptocurrency, I did a specific separate video on prior, but it is an interconnected blockchain of blockchains. And essentially, it's already the foundational layer for cryptocurrencies like Thor or Rune is its ticker, Thorchain, Luna, Terra, the massive stablecoin project, and the entire Binance Smart Chain is built with Cosmos. And then as their gravity update goes into effect at the end of June, they will be able to connect other blockchains such as Solana and Ethereum in this interoperable way. So they have so many projects already built with them, and most people don't understand how much it's already being utilized. I take utility into account when I'm buying crypto for the long term that I believe will succeed. And Cosmos dipped all the way down at its low point during this dip, down to around $18, $19. And just right previously, we were up to like 28. So I loaded up some more Cosmos, and I still am incredibly bullish on this project moving forward. We only have a market cap of just under 5 billion, and I think that we have plenty of room to run once that gravity update goes into effect. Now, the second one I'm going to touch base on, I'm going to skip ahead in my tabs here, but it's the other one of the two where I said Cosmos is the most undervalued crypto in my opinion. And the second one was Venus, or XVS. And this is essentially the version of Compound, Maker, and Aave. It's a lending protocol on the Binance Smart Chain. And I actually pulled up a tweet where I was talking about this back in April 1st, but I said, I still think XVS is one of the most undervalued cryptos. At $68 with $6 billion in total value locked on the Binance Smart Chain. It's crazy low in my opinion. Only 9 million currently circulating supply, even comparing the DeFi cap with Maker, factoring in the token count, DeFi total value locked in total funds, I think that Venus should be about 2 times where it should be. And I retweeted that yesterday, and someone asked where my target would be, and I said right around 125. And then I responded, well, it went to 123, so I'm pretty happy with that. And that is a direct response to this DeFi station total I've been showing you guys. I think I first showed it when it was at like $9 billion. But we have just been gaining on the Ethereum network if you are using the Binance Smart Chain. And Venus is up to right now having a TVL of just over $9 billion. So it's up a whole nother 33% since the last time I talked about it. I think that this project will continue to do well. I still think it's a little bit undervalued. If the Binance Smart Chain can continue to ride the hype, keep people coming even when the shitcoin stuff blows over, I still think that they're a good long-term hold. They're a little bit more accurately valued at around $125 in my opinion. So that's not necessarily what I bought during the dip. However, I did shift some of my Binance, my BNB coin, over to Venus to double down on that position. Okay. Now the next one I purchased at right around $13. It's up to $17.30 now, is Helium. Now in my altcoin season preparation video, I talked about Helium being a mesh network used for communication. So essentially setting up communication hotspots for cell phones or Wi-Fi, things of that nature all around the world. And it was a pretty unique concept in crypto, and I knew that they had some other stuff coming up, and they actually just announced that they were going to incorporate 5G into this, which is super exciting. So I bought a fair amount when it was down to around $13. I didn't catch it all the way to the base at around 12, but at that point when I did buy it, I was up around $5 per pretty quick. So if I'm looking at the low point that I bought, I probably snagged it right around like right about here, 13.4. Now, I'll have you know, I sold 100% of this position. Not because I wanted the quick profit and I was up by like 20%. I sold it because I did some more digging and I went onto their website and found that you can actually help set up the network and mine Helium with their mining rigs, which are just low-powered radio frequency. They're kind of like almost, they look like your Wi-Fi router, but they put out a radio frequency to set up the network, and you mine Helium, and it will download into your Helium wallet that you can set up, and then you can send that directly over to your whatever exchange that you purchase Helium from, and you can sell it or you can transfer back and forth. So I went and I looked up the map and I said, well, is the network strong where I'm at? And they have this map on their website. And I was blown away at the amount of hotspots in the United States alone, which is where I'm at. And the more people that are around your location, the stronger the signal is, the more you can mine. So I did all the calculations and I found that I could actually make more from Helium, I believe, purchasing a couple of those mining rigs than I could just holding the crypto. So I sold that position in its entirety and I purchased two Bobcat mining 300 rigs, one of which I'm going to set up at my house, another I'm going to set up across the city where I'm at, and I'm going to see, what the return is. I think the calculation was I should pull in about $1,200 per month in just passive income from those. However, that will be its own thing that I'll cover on the channel when they arrive. It's typically about 8 to 12 weeks for them to come in. So yeah, keep that in mind. Helium has a halving in its cryptocurrency that's coming up here shortly in August. So I'm hoping to beat it to the punch and have these set up by July. So fingers crossed. Now, the next one I'm going to talk about, I've done on this channel a couple times already. This is one of my most bullish projects. I've been in it since 1/20th of a penny, but that is Veracity. And they have to do with both advertisement, gaming, and their patented proof of view, which essentially just can differentiate between real and fake bot views. The advertising industry is estimated to be around $350 billion per year. So if you were setting up a budget and you have to advertise, there's about 50%, 45% of all views on content are from bot views, fake views. I'm sure you know some social media influencers that purchase fake subscribers, fake followers. So this patented proof of view will be able to differentiate what is a real view, what is a fake view, thus giving you a real-time value of the amount of people you're reaching for your project, so you can better budget and allocate funds to your advertising. Now, they just had extended this, and I shared this tweet, patent announcement. The World Intellectual Property Office, WIPO, confirms publication of Veracity International patent application. So they have now extended their proof of view patent to not only protect them in the US, but this now covers them internationally, and it's good for 17 years. So I was already bullish on them. I'm even more bullish. And then if we look at a new tier 1 exchange listing on OKE, they just went live 2 days ago. And another top exchange, I believe third by volume in the world, maybe second, Huobi, they've already been tweeting all about VRA, even though they're not even listed on that exchange yet. This one was just hey, what would be your top 4 cryptos? And you have Bitcoin, ETH, Doge, Tron, the Huobi token, and VRA. And I've retweeted. I was like, this is kind of funny. They're talking about VRA. It's not even listed on their exchange. So it really gives me a good feeling that Huobi is going to list VRA soon. And then everyone I see in the community, since VRA has one of the highest touch point communities out there, constant social interaction, constant social sentiment pushing, everyone's hammering Binance at this point. Veracity used to be listed on Binance a long time ago. The token was a little bit different. I believe it was listed as like VRAB, something along those lines. And then they delisted it back in like early 2019, late 2018. So everyone's pushing to get them back on if they can. Then I don't give price predictions, but I think that everyone that's throwing out this dollar target for it would be incredibly doable with all the tier 1 exchanges. So another one to keep in mind, I did buy the dip on them because I have been accumulating since day 1 back in December. That's when I first bought them. So I'm going to keep riding that train. So next, Polygon. This one goes without saying. I've talked about them plenty of times, formerly known Matic. They wicked all the way down, I believe, to like 30 cents. Like 34 cents. So this one was a no-brainer to me. And here's why. So Ethereum is pumping. So Ethereum has scaling problems. Polygon is the rebranded Matic solely for the idea of helping Ethereum to scale. So if Ethereum is pumping and you can see that those transaction fees on Uniswap or to convert or exchange anything or buy NFTs is going down, Matic is likely being a part of that. Polygon is being used. And you could see a lot of the transactions on Ethereum that have been increasing. They're not new transactions on Ethereum. They're all going through Polygon that are being attached on these roll-ups, essentially, and getting pushed through that system. And Polygon's going to help Ethereum stay afloat and continue to maintain its lead in the front running of networks until EIP 1559. So it was a no-brainer for me. I jumped in there. I didn't like unload all my savings into it just because I already had some Polygon. I talked about buying them before altcoin season started. But hey, if you're going to drop me down to 34 cents and I can pump it back up to 80, I'm going to fucking take it. So that was one. And then the next one, there were two other ones. And these two are going to be a little bit less known to you. I haven't talked about them yet on the channel. One is unFederal Reserve. And I love this community. If you were on crypto Twitter, look up eRSDL with the $sign and see who's tweeting. They're definitely a passionate community. But unFederal Reserve is essentially a B2B instead of peer-to-peer, so a business-to-business version of like your Aves or compounds. So you will have your lending and borrowing that you can do back and forth. And I'm going to read it off. I just didn't have their chart pulled up because I have their website up. So this one's running. So $1.14 currently, they're up 23% today. And I first started loading up around like 50, 60 cents. And we wicked back down to like 63, 64 cents. So I just bought more. I transferred some of my other smaller positions that I was in that I didn't like into unFederal Reserve. And I'm very happy with where they're at right now. So what do they do? So we understand that the term DeFi gives rise to apprehension because anonymous lenders and borrowers engage in digital trading whose only concern is to leverage their existing positions in the cryptoverse. unFederal Reserve has selected premium elements of the crypto ecosystem and wrapped it into a best-in-class regulatory framework that delivers its middle market clients a B2B or business-to-business lending, cash reporting, and overnight lending and borrowing utility tool. We offer the security of immutable records, near instantaneous settlement, and encryption well beyond what the largest global banks currently use. So this is one of those projects that, although it is newer, and I'm going to make my own video on it, if you know the importance of compound Aave or any lending protocol like Venus, imagine that for business to business. Their team is great. They have a bunch of professionals that have been in the business and banking world for a long time. This is one I'm going to say, do your own research, look up their website, play around with the information. I don't have the time. This is already going to be a longer video to go into all their intricate details, but I will make a separate video for them because this is one that I'm very, very happy that I'm in. And then the final one I'm going to talk about, it's not even listed on CoinMarketCap yet, but it just went live 2 days ago, and that is Charlie 3, and the ticker that you'll see for it is just C3. It's currently right around $1.06. I actually bought it a little bit higher, around like $1.20. I'm okay with taking a hit and being down temporarily. It's only been listed for like 2.5, 3 days. This is one of the projects I'm most excited for. So if you're familiar with Chainlink and the video I did about them being the oracle for Ethereum, which is what helps transition information from external sources to and from the blockchain and from blockchain to blockchain. It's what protects networks from malicious attacks in the short term when you're transferring that data. So when we talk about Cardano and all the announcements that they just made with that Cardano Africa, with IOHK, talking about Ethiopia, Tanzania, and the country of Georgia. So they're going to start onboarding a significant amount of people. So what is Charlie 3 then, and why does it matter? So Ollie White on Twitter just does a lot of crypto investing, but he put it best, and I'm just going to read this off. Want to know why I'm bullish on Charlie 3? It's the link of Cardano. So it is the first initial offering through CardStarter. It's only 3 days old at that time. $15 million market cap, and Chainlink's current market cap is $16 billion. So if you think about how large that gap is and how much Cardano is going to grow onboarding entire nations onto its system, that to me shows a massive ability for growth. So Charlie 3 is the first decentralized Oracle built on Cardano. This allows it to have all the benefits of existing Oracle protocols while having the flexibility of a much more agile blockchain backbone. So, hey, take it for what it is. I bought it through Uniswap. The fees on Uniswap have been significantly lower thanks to side chains like Polygon helping push through those side rollups on the chain to lower it. Most of them have been around 20, 30 bucks as opposed to the average of like 70 or 80 that we dealt with through most of March and April. So if you were going to pick up something like Charlie 3 or unFederal Reserve, or if you're in a country where you don't have an exchange that is accessible for some of these, now would be the time to do it before all the alts start running, because again, we're starting to take off now that CME futures have closed. So just a little tidbit on what I'm looking at. And then finally, one piece of news, because we did in the United States have the NFL draft. And Trevor Lawrence was the talk of the town, going his first pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who Jacksonville, all their political officials are already super bullish on crypto. But the news that I was looking at was Trevor Lawrence is partnering with crypto investing app Blockfolio. Why would he do that? Well, what most of us didn't expect, according to this article, is that the Tennessee Wonder Boy would use his signing bonus to invest in cryptocurrency. Lawrence has partnered with Blockfolio, a crypto investment app, to invest his estimated $22.6 million signing bonus into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and yes, Dogecoin. I promise you, his advisors behind the scenes are like, stay the fuck out of Doge, buy a little as a joke. I'm assuming it's mostly going to be Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then the other NFL player that was making news was, let's see, I don't even know his name. He's a backup. Sean Culkin with the Kansas City Chiefs. I guess he's a backup at this point. But he's switching his entire salary into Bitcoin, the entire thing. And he's been talking about it a lot on Twitter and saying, hey, I believe in cryptocurrency. And to be honest, I think his entire salary is right around $1 million, maybe even a little bit less being a backup. But still, these people in athletics, in professional gaming, in the music scene, in the rap world, they are very money motivated and very, very business savvy. And they are going to go where the money is. And if you think that Trevor Lawrence, who essentially is a generational talent coming in to be a quarterback in the NFL, saying, I want my signing bonus in Bitcoin, that every other person isn't going to say, why the fuck am I not doing this? Why is my salary not in Bitcoin? Why am I not making money and then watching it make me more money, as opposed to just getting paid these dollars that are just losing purchasing power? You're going to see a trend start to develop. And the more that develops and the more that presses, the more adoption from crypto you're going to see just in payment options for your athletes, for your board of directors. It doesn't matter what it is. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I bought during the dip, why I bought it, and what I'm bullish on. But aside from that, hopefully you've been following along as we had that crash and that dip and we came back up, and you even watched some of my altcoin season preparation videos, because if you didn't buy high, you didn't sell low, you didn't panic, and hopefully you're in a great spot. So I'm honored that you come and you watch this show, and I would hope that you would share this with anyone else that might need to see it, or at least leave a like on it, leave a comment, help with the algorithm. But as always, I am so honored that you came to watch this episode of Viva la Coin, and I will catch you guys next time.